Woodland Railway. This woodland in Kent is the home of a half-mile railway, and today we're getting ready for a special fundraising event tomorrow. We're just going to get the locomotives and coaches out of the shed, ready to finalise them, get them ready so that they are ready for the passengers. Right, here we go. First, out comes Simon with his little engine called Percy. Going to take a ride around the railway whilst we're waiting for the people to finish cleaning up the coaches. Here we go. Up past the engine shed and over the engine shed points. See all the damage that the hurricanes caused to the woodland. There are trees everywhere, laying down on the ground. This is an uphill slope, quite steep, and the engine is working quite hard to push us up here. We're just coming up to the beech tree now. The beech tree is the largest tree in the wood. Lovely tree, has a nice clearing round it for picnics and so on. At one time there was a halt here called Beech Tree Halt. And there's the beech tree. As we go round, there is a path that follows the railway, and we're running almost parallel to that path. There goes the path round there, going that way. Round a very tight bend here now. You can see the undergrowth growing across the track, making it very difficult for the engine to actually get a grip. But now we're over the top of the slope and we're going slightly down gradient. Still around these very tight bends. Notice how close the trees are to the line here. You have to be very careful not to lean out of coaches, otherwise you may crash your head against a tree, which can be extremely painful. The line very rarely carries passengers in actual fact. It mainly carries timber out of the woodland for household fires. And you can see here where the trees have actually come down, and we've just cut through some of the smaller trees, just enough space for us to get our train through. At some time in the future, doubtless we shall clear the mess. We can just get underneath this tree here. Whoop, over the bumps. some of the joints are a little rough. Just going around the right hand bend here until we get to the viaduct or bridge. In a moment we'll see that in front of us. The viaduct or bridge is constructed from natural timbers which have been put together in best engineering and scouting style and is quite capable of carrying a heavy load. Here's the viaduct or bridge. It stands about 4 feet above the bottom of a crater or pit. And there we go, over the viaduct. Very slowly now, for safety reasons. And there's the line carrying on in front. The engine picked up a few revs as we take a few tight curves here, and now the line must turn very sharply to the right in order to cross the pathway that goes around the wood. It's a very sharp curve indeed, but fortunately we take it in this downhill direction, which means that we can get around very easily without any slipping. With a load of coaches or wagons, this really makes the wheels squeal on the flanges. Just coming up to the crossing now. Job to discern the crossing in amongst all the weeds, but this is the crossing just there in front of you. That's one track that way, and that's the track in the other direction. We continue after having done the crossing, continue into a little dip to the right. We're now in a little dip. The engine then has to push us up a little slope, and then we start going down again. This was the worst affected part of the woodland in the hurricane, and you can see numerous pieces of tree on either side where we've just chopped our way through with a chainsaw so that the train can get through the railway from one end to the other. You're riding on is mainly from the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. We bought about 4 tonnes of rail for about £25 a tonne a number of years ago, and that's what you're riding on. In just a moment we shall be riding on some different Romney rail, but it's got welded sleepers. It was already set at 15-inch gauge and with some form of temporary track designed for use in fates or something. And here you can see that track. This is the track we're riding on now. It's got the steel sleepers on it. Through the willow herb, during the later part of the summer, this will be a dense jungle through this part, very pretty, and the engine and the train will have to shove its way through. We're just about at the bottom of our line, the bottom of the gradient. We'll soon be starting to go back up towards the loco shed. A bit bumpy on the track just there, something which we'll have to fix. Bells are just about finished this time of year. This is May the 19th, 1990 in the afternoon, and so the bluebells are just about finished. The woodland's becoming nice and green now, and here you can see the purpose of the woodland, the stack of timber for household fires next to our wood siding. Just going over a set of points now which leads to our wood siding there. That wood siding is right next to the drive and we can easily get a vehicle there for loading. Right in front now, there on the right hand side, there is a siding going off into the woodland, into the depth of the woodland for collecting timber. And our flat wagons are at the moment stored on that siding out of the way in preparation for tomorrow's fundraising events. The line now takes a tight right-hander up a very steep slope now, built up on a bit of embankment made out of old bricks and broken paving slabs. This is quite a steep bank and gives us a lot of problems on the open days when we have loaded passenger coaches. But of course when we extract timber from the woodland, we can always come down this slope and down to the bottom part of the line where we can unload the wagons. So we never take a full wagon up the hill. On the left is the site of the original engine shed, which was taken down because the thing was too small and the space was too small as well, so we pulled it down and built one further up. Round a very tight corner now, over the second level crossing, and now the tightest corner on the line on a steep uphill gradient. This is where sand has to be used. Hand sanding is the rule of the day, and there is our new engine shed on the right. Now we're back at the beginning and where our journey started.
Yeah, okay, I'll be with you in a minute.
Hello, Dad. I tell you what, Simon needs by this time. No, this is
Right away, driver. thought we'd run a few trains for you just to show you how the railway is used to collect timber and take it down to the bottom of the drive. We've got a very junior driver today, very much a beginner, and he's going to just let the loco run backwards down the hill towards us with his hand on the brake. He's going to drive the locomotive Pam. Pam is powered by a Mini 850 engine. It's been put in there about 5 years now because the original motive power, the battery electric, in fact didn't actually work very well. The batteries would soon go flat over such a long distance. And here he comes now, down the line with Heidi in the tool truck, down past the engine shed, down over the crossing, going down towards the timber siding where he can pick up the wagons. Simon has now reached the timber siding and he's about to get out and change the points and get the flat trucks from the siding. He's going to manhandle them out of the siding because they've got to go on the back of the train. This just goes to show how easily a 15-inch gauge railway can be handled, even by a 7-year-old little boy. There's a rather mixed assortment of flat trucks. Some have got wheels from a brickworks, and one has even got the wheels from a redundant Hudson skip from Dungeness Beach, where it was used to carry fish from the sea up to the road. All the little flat trucks got little hooks and things on for chains to connect them together. You notice the chain on the back of the tool truck. That chain's fixed on there permanently, but all these smaller trucks have the chains fitted on using a drop pin technique. The locomotive is powered by its mini engine, the 850 mini engine. Heidi's just taking it easy as usual. Here comes the locomotive now. Got his eye on a pile of wood. I'm going to try and stop with the empty truck by the pile of wood. There he is. I think he's going to stop with the back truck by the pile of wood. Yes, he is. That's right. Plenty far enough.
The driver is now loading up the trucks.
Hello, Heidi.
It is a bit of a job to load them because your logs are quite heavy.
Better get on the train if we're going in a minute.
just about to go. Just coming to come over the crossing. There's Heidi sitting on the log. There goes the train.
Having collected its loads of logs, Simon is now driving the train down towards our little dump where we put the pile of logs. He's just driving over the welded Romney rail. And here you can see how the locomotive dips and goes up and down as it goes over the very uneven track. Left you can see the pile of wood and the siding in front of you amongst the weeds. Here comes the train with its load of logs. Simon taking up well past the point, and I'm going to go and change drivers and shunt it back into this siding. Finished its work for the day and the trucks have been unloaded. Simon is now taking the locomotive Pam back to the engine shed. Here he comes up the hill rather slowly. Bit of acceleration, fast around the bend. There he goes.